Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. In this video today, it's not so much a question that really comes up with any frequency as far as from a practical standpoint, but I do have people that do ask me every few weeks, it seems to come up, whether or not gambling is legal in Thailand. And the short answer to this question is yes, but with many qualifications and restrictions. So the short answer is yes, there is betting in Thailand that is allowed. Most notably, Thailand has one of the oldest lotteries in the world, and the state lottery office here in Thailand does put on lotteries quite frequently on a bi-monthly basis. I think twice a month, if I'm not mistaken. There is also, in a very sort of limited capacity, there is also horse racing in Thailand, which dates back to the turn of the last century, and there can be legally wagers placed in certain very limited, very narrow contexts regarding horse racing. But that being said, aside from these two extremely limited sets of circumstances, for the most part, there is no legal gambling in Thailand. So there's nothing akin to, say, a casino or something like this. And things like sports betting, bookmaking, these kinds of things are illegal as well. That being said, there are certain ways in which certain limited ad hoc licenses for certain gaming activity can be obtained in very limited circumstances, mostly with respect to small family gatherings. It may be possible, especially with funerals here in the Kingdom of Thailand. There are certain sort of gaming activities that sort of come part and parcel with funerary rites and funeral processions, for lack of a better term. Basically, the entire event that is a funeral. You will see, and it is possible to see, certain very limited gambling license extended for like a day. There are also charitable events which will very occasionally come up where licensure of what could otherwise be deemed to be gambling activity may be approved in very limited circumstances. Now, while this is possible, albeit rare, and while there are narrow exceptions to the otherwise strong restrictions on gambling in Thailand, such as mentioned, horse racing and lotteries, notwithstanding these sort of narrow exceptions, the overall policy is one of restriction of gambling activity. And for that reason, it's not infrequent that one will hear of quote-unquote gambling dens being raided in Thailand, or Bangkok specifically. Moreover, there are stories of folks who are just essentially playing what could be described in other jurisdictions as an innocent game of cards, maybe a game that doesn't even really have a gambling aspect to it, and those folks will be arrested on like suspicion of gambling or gambling-related charges. So, this being said, it's basically a good idea to consider gambling to be illegal in Thailand, again with the exception of things like the lottery, and to act accordingly. So playing games of chance in the kingdom can actually lead to full arrest and incarceration and a full bail hearing before a final judgment's made. Generally speaking, on a first offense, it's been my experience that they're not going to throw an individual into the slammer long haul for playing a game of cards, but it is an offense that has seen arrests, and fairly notable arrests in certain jurisdictions in Thailand in the past few years for things which are considered to be rather petty offenses by sort of Western legal standards, but that are considered very serious offenses here in Thailand. So for that reason, it's best to sort of think of gambling as being effectively illegal and acting accordingly.